Hello everyone, welcome back to Bitcoin in real life. Let's continue on from previous episode here. Hold on, let me come back here a little bit. Okay, so I got a reply from Monadnol Krusha to my let me see, Bitcoin in real life 33. Some men just want to see the world burn. Let me see if I can see what video that was here. If you don't mind waiting here. Let me see, that was Bitcoin in real life 33. Some men just want to watch the world burn. By the way, that's a quote from The Dark Knight. I believe that was what the actor Michael Caine said. Anyways, let's go back to the comment here. And he said, I was being goofy. I didn't think I'd ever meet James Bond. Well, be careful what you ask for. Especially on this channel, because it might just come true. So anyways, in this episode, let's go back to the coin market cap here, just to take a quick look here. There we go. So in this episode here, I'm going to talk about more about the revolution here, and if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, in some of my previous episodes, and the way it all worked out, it's kind of weird how the creator has compelled me to do things and led me to different places, and the things I've experienced and seen. So regarding the revolution, first of all, why am I talking about a revolution? Well, Bitcoin is revolutionary, and also the invention of the creator. So I went to, in my previous episodes, I went to San Francisco, where I wanted to go to, where Ross Ulbricht was supposedly caught. It was the Glen Park Library. I think it's Glen Park Library. And the way I knew for sure that's where it was, or exactly where the place was, because of the photo that was taken by the FBI agent. The only thing I can tell was a book that was titled Che Guevara. And then my recent trip to Philadelphia. But even before then, I also went to Washington, D.C., to the National Archives, where I saw the original Constitution, and then again to Philadelphia, where the original capital of the original early United States of America. And I came to realize that inscripted in public space is the manual the instructions on how to start a revolution. Not only how to start it, but to sustain the revolution and then finally complete the revolution. And even before that, I was talking about how the world was turning over, coinciding with this whole concept of revolution. And so in this particular episode, I'm going to discuss the steps, the first two steps, maybe the third step, and then the last step. And so I'll kind of go into that real quick here, if you just bear with me. So here it is, everyone. And so here is the 10 steps on how to start a revolution, how to sustain the revolution, and then most importantly, how to complete the revolution, or when the revolution has been completed is what you'll know, how you know when things are either on its way or almost completed, or at least starting the start of the revolution here. And yes, the revolution means you will have to bear arms. You may even have to use it against your fellow man and woman, maybe even child, against another child, yes. It's not a this is not a conventional warfare. This is an unconventional warfare in which you will be up against a much powerful opposition. So you'll have to take tactics, or take in consideration of tactics of unconventional, very unconventional warfare. Consider yourself in enemy territory right now. Okay, so step one is you must believe in what you're doing. Okay, you must believe what you're doing. You must talk about the revolution. You can even write about the revolution, and also get together with others to discuss the revolution, both publicly and privately. You may even bring the subject up to your enemy. Okay, you may bring your grievance to the enemy. All right. And so that's the first thing you must do, is you must talk about the revolution publicly and in secrecy, behind closed doors. And you definitely must take that first step. Then the second thing you must do is start bearing arms. Train yourself. Train yourself very well. Understand how to use the arms. Start bearing arms. Get yourself a gun. Not only a gun, knives, swords, whatever you can. Whatever you could put in your left hand, which is your left arm, and whatever you could put in your right hand, which is your right arm. And I talked about my right arm and my left arm before, in my previous episodes. My left hand, which is my left arm, my arm of forgiveness, the open hand, I extend out to you first. But if you refuse to take my left arm, or except my left arm. And at that time, I could only extend my left arm because the Creator did not teach me how to use my right arm yet. But if you refuse the left arm, then you will receive my right arm, the arm of justice. And it's not open, it is closed, it's in a fist. That's what you will receive. So the second thing you must do is to bear arms. Train yourself. Train with others. And let's slightly talk about the third step. And if you got into the first step and then you got into the second step, it doesn't mean the revolution has begun yet. But when you get to the third step, you're pretty much on your way to revolution. So I'll read the third step here, and I'll try to make sense of it. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in a time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. So when you get to the third step, you have to realize that by that point, you cannot fraternize with the enemy. No soldier of the opposition may enter into your house without your consent. No soldier at all. No soldier of the opposition. No soldier from the state. Locally, federally, internationally. At that point, you must sever all ties to the enemy. Because this is a revolution. A revolution where it will be brother against brother, man against man, woman against woman, father against son, mother against daughter, daughter against daughter, brother against sister. And you can almost say it's already started. I mean, shots have already been fired. Blood is already in the streets. Innocent people are getting killed. If you ask me, the revolution's already on its way. The oppressive force has already started. The oppression, the tyranny. It started with money, slowly going into force, eventually to your death. So when is it completed? When will the revolution be completed? Well, when you get to the last step in this instruction manual on how to start a revolution, how to sustain a revolution, and how to complete the revolution. Here's the last step of the revolution manual. Okay. There you go. X marks the spot. And I'll read it out to you out loud. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the state respectively, or to the people. Um, so let me rephrase it in a way that kind of makes, well, maybe you'll understand it a little better. The revolution will be completed when, anybody know? When power belongs to the people. Power to the people. So the revolution will be completed, will be over, when the power is restored back to the people. So if you take time to read the instruction manual on how to start a revolution and how to sustain a revolution and how to complete the revolution, I think you'll come to a better understanding of what's going on. And I could already tell you that it's already started, in my opinion. The shots have been fired already. And in my opinion, okay, this is how I'm starting to see things formed. I mean, I could already sense and feel and even see what the future holds. You know, when the time comes, and just before the new world comes upon us all, there will be great unrest. There will be great upheaval. In, you know, whatever, financial markets, social unrest, you know, even collapse of culture and society. You know, it's as if the streets will go dark and run red with blood. And in the darkest hour, a light will shine through the dark clouds. And only then will you know that the revolution is over. And the new world is upon us all. Anyways, hidden in plain sight, the instruction manual on how to start a revolution, how to sustain a revolution, and finally, how to complete the revolution. Hidden in plain sight, everyone, in public space, for all of you to read, comprehend, and understand. Anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin, and you're probably wondering, well, what does Bitcoin have to do with the revolution? Well, how do you think the revolution is going to be financed? How do you think we're going to communicate? How do you think we're going to bear arms? How do you think the revolution is going to be sustained? You think the bank's going to give us a loan? If anything, I believe the banks will side with the greater force, the oppressive force, the tyrant force. This will not be a conventional warfare. It is an unconventional warfare where the revolutionists are hidden in plain sight. They're captive already behind enemy lines. So, take it for what it's worth, whether you believe me or not. But if you've been watching my videos, if you've been watching my testimony, if you've been here since the beginning, and as I connect the pieces, as I'm compelled to go and discover these things by the Creator, what can I say? How am I to explain this other than what I've already told you right now? Anyways, I hope all of you had a chance to acquire as much Bitcoin as you can, because I do believe you will be, well, I believe Bitcoin will be a pivotal in this revolution. It's going to determine the winner and the loser. I can tell you right now, the winner of this revolution will use Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure of it. The loser will not use Bitcoin. Matter of fact, the loser will reject the use of Bitcoin, will reject everything about the Bitcoin. They will try to use something like Bitcoin. Your oppressors, your tyrants, will try to use something like Bitcoin. But if you know what I know, you'll realize that anything, if it's not Bitcoin, it is a tool for the Dark Overlord to enslave you, your oppressor, your tyrant, your slave master. And so I hope you take everything I have to say to heart, because it's not going to be pretty. War is of last resort. It is a bad omen. It is a sign it's a sign of the Dark Overlord, really. And I hope you all prepare yourselves. Be ready. Because you will be deceived. You will all be led astray. And then you'll be killed for your Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is revolutionary. And the Dark Overlord wants to squash this revolution, will do anything in the Dark Overlord's power to kill you all, to keep you enslaved, oppressed through tyranny. I hope this message finds you well. And you all know what must be done. Like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.